All right, this drill that we're going to be doing is for windmills. So we're trying to keep the students going clockwise, or you can do counterclockwise. I typically think that the students should just work in one class, maybe even for a week or so or longer, depending on your students, how young they are. They should just do clockwise for a while, and then after they get fairly good at it, you switch them and make them do counterclockwise. Then at that point, you can mix it up a little bit. But this is designed because one of the things that I see when people are initially doing this is they're too close to their body, and we want to be out away from our body when we're doing our double blocks, our windmills. So if he puts these little frisbees up here, I can sit here and go here and I can do my double blocks. Initially it's kind of choppy when students are first learning it, but eventually they can be closed hand, they can be open hand, they can actually, we've got variations where they have to, the top hand has to be open, so they have to, and the bottom hand closed, so they got to change, or vice versa. But that's the general motion. So for this particular one, the hand that's coming up is on the outside. At some point as we're doing this, either if we do it as a whole group, the instructor can call it out, or I'm out right now, I'm going up on the outside. If he says in, then I switch to going up on the inside. So that motion coming in and out. Out tends to be a little bit more linear this way. In tends to go just more about a 45. So if I'm going in, then I'm going a little bit farther forward. And you can use focus mats or frisbees, it doesn't really matter. And then if he yells out, then I switch. Now I'm back to doing out, and he can just call it out off and on as much as he wants. Now after you do this for a little while and they get kind of used to it, the next thing, you can either call it, or if they start getting good, he can say front or back. And if he says back, he takes a step back, and I've got to chase him. And I don't want to stop. I don't want to stop just because he's doing movement. I want to keep this continuous. And then if he yells retreat, then I've got to go here, right? And eventually it'll get to where he just kind of moves around. So he's starting to move around and I'm kind of chasing him. And so I've got to turn my body, and that gets them using their footwork, right? And I can turn my body either with my heels or with an actual step and shuffle. So we're doing this, and as we're going along, he can at any point yell in, and I have to switch. All right, and then kind of the next deal that I like to do is add a kick. So you tell them 1, 2, 3, kick on 4. 1, 2, 3, kick on 4. Or you could say on 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, that kind of deal. Or you can do it on command. When he says kick, I got to do a kick. And I can use the back leg, or I can use the front leg as I do it. And then so the next logical progression is he starts moving my targets just slightly, right? And so I've got to vary where my hands are at, and he's moving around. And then every third one or fourth one, whatever you agree upon, I've got to add a kick in there. And so it gets you pretty fluid with doing the windmill motion, and it keeps your arms out. At any point, if I start getting too close, he should take a step back. And then if I keep chasing him and doing it like this, and I'm too close, he should just reach up and pop me in the head or something because I'm too close, right? All right. The other drill you can do is, instead of a kick, you start adding in things like head, right? So I go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or I could do, that's an even number. If I do an odd number, 1, 2, 3, head, shoulder, brachial plexus, whatever. So it puts a whole lot of variance in there. You can do the whole thing calling out as the instructor, and so everybody in the dojo is kind of doing the same thing. or you can just let them play once they get used to it, and the guy that's holding the two frisbees or focus mitts can just move around, and they get real fluid pretty quick once they start doing this.